Hi, welcome to CS Glitz. In the last video, we learned about assignments, variables, and f-string. In this video, we will learn about decision flow. Sometimes we have to make decisions based on some expression. Let's write a program that will take outside temperature as an input and print whether the user requires a jacket or not based on the temperature being lower than 15 or not. Python structures the code by colons and indentation. If we want to put anything inside if block, then we have to match the indentation. By default, after putting a semicolon, when we press enter, IDE will automatically put our cursor one indentation away. Other languages like C, C++, and Java achieve the same thing by using curly braces. We can use a tab or space for indentation. A good practice is to use 4 spaces. In modern IDE, when we just hit tab for indentation, can automatically convert our tab to spaces. We can see the indentation information on the down right side in the VS Code. We can change it to tabs if we want. When we run the program, it will compare the value of temperature to 15. If it is less than 15, then it will go inside the if block and print take a plain jacket, and after that prints have a nice day. If the value is not less than 15, then it will skip the if block and just print have a nice day. This less than sign is called comparison operator. A comparison operator takes two values and compares them. They return either true or false. For text, they use a lexicographical or dictionary order. There are 6 comparison operators. Let's understand them with some numeric and text examples. A less than operator will only return true if the value on the left side is less than the right. A less than or equal to operator will only return false if the value on the left side is greater than the right. A greater than operator will only return true if the value on the left hand side is greater than the right. A greater than or equal to operator will only return false if the value on the left side is less than the right. An equal to operator will return true if both are equal to each other. On the other hand, a not equal operator will return false if both values are equal. We can check the return type of a comparison operator by using the type function. Since these operators return bool values, we can also assign them to a variable. It prints false as in the dictionary or lexicographical ordering, tiger comes after apple. If we try to compare an int with a string, it fails. Let's write a program that will print whether a person can vote or not, depending upon whether his or her age is greater than or equal to 18 or not. We can use the else keyword to specify the other block to execute if the if condition fails. Let's say if a person is not eligible for voting, then we want to print how many years he has to wait to able to vote. We can do that by adding more statements to the if branch. We can put any number of statements inside a block until we are following the proper indentation. If we try to do this, it will fail because Python interpreter will think that our if statement is ended at the point and we cannot use else without the if statement. Now let's try to build a calculator. We will take two numbers and an operator from the user. Our operator can be plus, minus, multiply or divide. If we want to check another condition in the else block, then we can use elif statement. It is similar to the else if in other languages. This style of using if else is called ladder if else. It will step by step check for the expression, and when it found a match, then it will just enter that block only. If we put an invalid operator, then it will just print nothing. We can solve this issue by adding else. Suppose you and your friend are playing a game in which both are tossing a coin. If head comes on both of the coin, then you win. And if both are tails, then you lose. Otherwise, it's a tie. Let's take both of the result as an input from the user. We can use another if-else statement inside an if or else statement. It's called nested if-else. Just keep indentation in mind because that's how Python interpreter knows which statements are inside which block. If we are inside the else block, then we just need to check whether the second toss is also a tails or not. To make our game interesting, let's break the tie by playing it again. Notice that we have to make changes in two places. In this example, our win or loss depend upon more than one conditional statement. That is why we have to use nested if else. But most of the time, this can be avoided by using logical operators. Logical operators are used to combine conditional statements. They allow us to make a decision based on multiple conditions. There are three logical operators. AND operator will return true only if both sides are true. OR operator will return false only if both sides are false. NOT operator will just return the opposite. Now, let's rewrite the coin toss game using logical operators. If both of them are heads, then we won. If only one of them is a head, then it's a tie. Otherwise, we lost. Let's move on to the evaluation of expressions. Python will evaluate 2 multiplied 3 first and then add 5 into it. This is because multiplication has a higher precedence than addition. The precedence of an operator will decide which will be evaluated before others. In the decreasing order of priority, they are parenthesis, exponentiation, multiplication and divisions, addition and subtraction, comparison operators, not, and, or assignment operator. Since braces have the highest precedence, we can use them to change the evaluation order to our liking. This will do the addition first. If two or more operators has the same precedence, then they will evaluate it from left to right. This will be equivalent to this one. Similarly, this will be same as this one. As AND operator has a higher precedence over OR operator, it will be evaluated first. This is same as this. We can evaluate OR operator first by using the parenthesis, which yields a different result. There is only one exception to the left to right rule, and that is an exponent or power operator. This will be evaluated as this, not this one. Sometimes we need to check whether a number is in a given range or not. We can do that by using AND operator. In Python, we can chain the comparison operators like this. It will use AND operator to combine multiple comparisons, which yields the same result. We can use this in our coin toss game. Now, it is using the chaining on the equal to operator. We can still reduce the size of our code by using clever conditions. If both tosses are the same but not head, then both of them must be tails. Let's write a program to take the fruit name you want to eat and you want 3 fruits if it's a mango, otherwise you want 2 of them. We can use if-else in a single line to assign a value to a variable. Now we will learn about some common mistakes that beginners do. So far, we are using if statement only with Boolean values. But if statement will work on other values as well. It takes 0 as false and non-zero values as true. Similar behavior can be observed for string values as well. If you want to check whether something will be evaluated to true or false, then we can check it with bool function. Let's try to divide something by 0. It will throw a divide by 0 error. Now let's try to do this in a condition. Now it didn't throw the error because it didn't evaluate the second condition. As we already know, the AND operator only returns true when both of the expressions are true. So when the first condition fails, then the output of second condition doesn't matter. So the outcome will be false no matter what. Now let's change the first condition to true. Now we are seeing the divide by 0 error because the AND operator needs the outcome of the second operator as well. A similar but opposite concept is applied to the OR operator. Unlike the AND operator, OR operator only returns false when both of the expressions are false. If the first expression is true, then it doesn't need to evaluate the second expression. It will just return true. But if the first expression is false, then it will check the second expression. So far, we are using AND operator and OR operator with Boolean values, that is true and false. But they can also be used with other values, like them. It returns 0 because bool of 0 is false and it is the last value evaluated by it. So in a way it is returning false. It returns 2 because bool 2 is true and 2 is the last value evaluated by AND. It returns 0 because bool of 0 is false and 0 is the last evaluated value because of short circuiting. You should try these with OR and on string as well. Or a combination of them. This can be helpful while assigning the default values. Let's go back to our toss game. We want to take head as a default value. That is, if a user is entering an empty string, then it should take the toss value as head. One way to achieve that without using an if statement is to use OR operator. If a user enters something else, then it will take that, otherwise it will just use heads. Another mistake can occur while comparing float values. To answer this behavior, we need to understand how floating point number work in Python. In the decimal number system, we use powers of 10 to represent a number. If we try to represent 1 by 3 in decimal number system, then we need infinite digits to truly represent it. In the binary number system, we use powers of 2 to represent a number. If we try to represent 1 by 3 in binary, then we will run into the similar problem. Since computers don't have infinite memory, we need to stop somewhere. Let's take 4 binary points. Now let's add them up 3 times. As you can see, our results don't match. Python can recover from some of these types of errors, but not all of them. We can try to print more decimal places to take a closer look. As you can see, both are approximations to a certain degree. While comparing two float values for equality, we can use abs function. It will return absolute value of the given number. If their difference is less than 10 to the power minus 5, then they are almost equal. Last but not least are comments. In Python, you can comment a line by using hash symbol. Whatever you write after the hash symbol will be ignored by the Python. Most IDEs will show them with a different color than normal code. Let's do a quick recap on what we learned today. Comparison operators, if else and elif statements, nested if else, logical operators, operator precedence, single line if else, top beginner mistakes. Practice makes progress. You can check out the source code for the examples, and the assignments are out for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.